ओम ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम गंगणपतये नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके देवी नारायणि नमोस्तुते। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु महालक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता। नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके देवी नारायणि नमोस्तुते। ओम नमो नारायणाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमः शिवाय। श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्री परमगुरुभ्यो नमः। ओम ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डाय विच्चे नमो नमः। Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 8th of June 2026. I want to offer my prostrations, Anandagodi Namaskaram, to all the great sages and to Paramatma, Bhagwan, residing in the heart of every single being at all times. We are continuing to examine further today the phenomena of raga and dvesha. Repulsion, attraction, as we started talking about this yesterday and the time before also. I have sent in the WhatsApp group 50 examples to better understand this, and we'll go through some of them today. These are examples, analogies, metaphors of the paired structure of attraction and aversion. So let's go through some of these to better understand what we are talking about, because the purpose of going through this is that these are the two big blockages in the realization of the Atma and Paramatma. Yes. These are this is Maya. This is Maya, this is bondage, this is Bandhan, this is Agnan. Everything is in these two, Raga and Dvesha. So there are 50 points, and I put them in the WhatsApp just now so you can download them. If you want a PDF file or if you want something else with that, then I can send that to you. Eventually, there will be, quite a few number of books in the future published on all this stuff. But remember, there's a couple of examples here. The magnet and the repellent force. Raga is attraction, attachment, compulsive liking. It is like a magnet that pulls the mind towards whatever it believes will complete it. Our mind is there. It's real. Our emotions, feelings, our desires, these things are all there. So raga is a force from inside. It is a type of Shakti, in fact. It is Shakti. But it is energy. It is Shakti. So raga is similar to like a magnet. Similar to a magnet that pulls, like the mind becomes, it's like a magnetic pull in the mind, pulls the mind towards anything, any people, places, objects, doesn't matter what it is. It pulls it towards whatever the mind itself believes will bring it completion, Puranata, Puranakam. If I get this, then I'll be happy. If I get this, then I'm satisfied. And actually that's how it does work that way. How does it work that way? When we are hungry, for example, we want certain kind of food. And it's not just food, it's the taste behind the food, the taste of the food. We want that really good quality experience. And that brings satisfaction. Is that not so? Vichar kijiye. It's really very interesting. Just the other day we were at this restaurant, and it's ordered maybe 7 or 8 different dishes. A bunch of people had gone for some graduation thing, right? And you can see what happens in that as an example, but this is just a life in general. There is quality of experience from the food. Isn't that so? Let's look at it carefully. Isn't that true in relationships? Isn't that true in friendships? Sitting in a car, brand new cars. Isn't that true in going for trips? All of the experiences of Prakriti, including simply Sachin talking right now with wearing this white t-shirt, having these malas, having this tilak. This is also experience. It's all, and Sachin can say, I like this experience, yes. So there is a pull of the mind, like a magnet, towards whatever it believes will complete it. And it's not just a belief. There is experience. If I put gulab jam in my mouth, I put, rasgulla in my mouth, I put whatever. Right now I'm talking to you, you're listening to this. It's an experience. Everything is experience. The color red is an experience. The rose is an experience. Being a father, being a mother is an experience. Every experience has its own qualitative first person anubhav. Is it not so? I hope this makes sense. Every experience, the color green, the color blue, the different songs, different instruments, different ragas, for example. This is called the glory of Prakriti. If you're writing notes, write this down, please. The glory of Prakriti. Prakriti no Mahima in Gujarati. We say Bhagwan no Mahima. Bhagwan ka Mahima. Bhagvat Mahima. Fine. But we cannot even begin to touch that until we grasp the Mahima, the glory, the extraordinary nature of Prakriti or Prakriti. Prakriti means nature, natural experiences of life. Very interesting. Bhagavan kehte hai in the Gita that the Maya, which is Prakriti, or Prakriti is a manifestation of Maya, Mahamaya, it is divine. Daivi yesha gunamayi mama maya duratya. It is Daivi. Daivi. Maya is always Daivi. Even having a cereal with milk, that is divine. Everything is divine. Hard to understand that, right? How can that be? We think of divine as going to temples. We think of divine as, or Divya as, Bhagwan ko offer karna. That's true, obviously. Because that is beyond Maya. This is within Maya, but Maya is also divine. Now that brings up a lot of questions. Like, wait a minute, if you're saying Maya is divine, Sattva, Raja, Tama, Daivi Yesha Gunamayi, Mama Maya. Maya kiski hai? Bhagwan ki hai. Or wo Daivi hai, and it is filled with the three gunas. Hence we have all the experiences. The first person experiences we have been talking about are from the three gunas of Maya. Go to a nice restaurant and order a nice veg Manchurian, or order this one and that one. If I start making a list of all that, everybody will start becoming hungry right away, listening to all that, Paneer tikka masala and all whatever, you guys know better. Whatever it might be, right? All those things, pani puris and different kinds of so many different things are there. Indian food, Chinese food, Japanese food, Italian food, just food examples. The mind will start spinning. Wow, this is nice. Isn't it so? That is divine. Have you thought about that? That's what the Gita says, and that's our experience. When we enjoy the objects of the senses, that is also Divya. Now this becomes a big question. Most people never describe it that way. Most gurus, even teachers, will say, get away from all this thing and just go chhod do sab Maya and go off somewhere and do some sadhana, some ekant sadhana. There's so many things are there. But the reality is not like that. The reality is that Sattva gun, Rajo gun, and Tamo gun, Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, are also divine. Now we get into big questions here. My God. Krishna is saying in the Gita, the three gunas are from the Maya, and that Maya is mine, and that is wo Divya hai. Daivi Maya. Why Daivi? Because in those experiences, there is the presence of Paramatma. In every experience, whether it is Rajasic, Tamasic, Sattvic, any kind of experience. अनुभव होता ही नहीं without the presence of Paramatma. It can never happen. But then what about the rest of the verse? Devi Esha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratya Mam Eva E Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. So we have an option. We have an option to go beyond the Rag Dvesh continuum into the abode of God, which is beyond Maya. Mama Maya Duratya Mam Evaye Prapadyante Maya Metam Tarantite. You come to me. Come to me completely. The influence of Maya will not touch you. That's very interesting. Yeah, very interesting. What about this Rag Dvesh? Is Rag Dvesh divine? Isn't it within the realm of Maya? Of course. That is what it is. It is within the realm of Maya. Rag and Dvesh are also divine. Now how can that be? How can you say Rag and Dvesh are divine? Krishna is saying, not Sachin. Krishna Bhagavan is saying, Devi Esha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratya. It causes bondage problems, no doubt, but it is still divine. All the wars going on. Have you ever thought about that? All the wars going on, all the different conflicts and agitations, and as much as we want to get away from all that, wo bhi Bhagwan ki hi shakti hai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu talks about that as the inferior energy of Sri Krishna. Bhagwan ki hi sab shakti hai. It's not somebody else's power. The entire source of all energy is only one. There's no two sources to that, or multiplicity of sources. There's only one source. It's very interesting. Then somebody could argue, somebody could say, well, if that's so, then just do anything. Kuch bhi karo. Why have to follow any dharma? Why have to follow any good rules? Why have to follow anything? Just do anything you want to do. Okay, try it and see what happens. How long we can live in the world that way. How long we can remain healthy that way. It doesn't work like that. When Bhagavan says that the three gunas are from Maya and they are divine, we have to understand what that means and then understand the full verse, not only half the verse. It means that that is a power that has been activated for the Jivatma to gain experience of Maya. It has not been activated to keep the Jivatma trapped in the structure of Maya. That's not what that means. In fact, the verse says to the contrary, you come to me, meaning Adhyatma, Bhagwan ka jo swarup hai, Paramatma ka jo swarup hai. Once we go through that, through mantra, stotra, shastra, etc., once we go into the swarup of Paramatma, connected to the swarup of Paramatma, the influence of Maya doesn't touch us. Meaning what? That the Raga and Dvesha are obliterated. We go beyond them. Yes, experiences continue. We go to a restaurant, experience continues. We have food items at home. We have experiences during the daytime, nighttime, whenever we have experience. Anubhav to hai jivan ka. That's the way it goes. Experiences continue. But they continue by breaking out of the Raga, Dvesha binding of the three gunas of Maya. Because the Raga, Dvesha is the polarity, the duality within Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. And we can see that very clearly. Very clearly we can see the quality. It has to do with quality of experience. And it is there. There's no doubt about that. We've been talking about restaurants, for example. Why do people go to certain restaurants? Why is that? Because of the quality of the food, the experience. Maybe the quality should be good, how it is made, certain experiences of taste. Right? Isn't it so? The environment, going about with company, having some drinks and having this. This is how most people are doing. They celebrate different anniversaries and different parties or just go out like that for relaxation. It's because of Anubhav, because of the experience that the restaurants provide, or malls provide, or whatever, any kind of place of enjoyment. And this is how human beings live. And most human beings are trying to fulfill themselves by running further and further towards all of those attractive objects. And the experience they give, the experience is limited, but there is an experience. We cannot say there isn't one. Of course there is. Of course there is experience. How can you say there is not experience? How can anybody say that? That would be foolish. Of course there is. This is where some of the analogies in Vedanta break down. They don't work very well. Like the Mrugjal analogy. The deer running towards the mirage. It doesn't work in this. That analogy is only 70% okay. 30% it doesn't work. The deer never find water. Anybody running towards the mirage, you don't find. Kuch anubhav to nahi hai isme. You just get tired and fall down. That's not true with the Panch Vishayas. You get some kuch anubhav to hai isme. Obviously. You cannot say in fact, there's nothing but anubhav. That's why people run after it. Take the sexual experience or take a lot of money. The bank account increases. Anubhav hai. It's an experience. Position, somebody gets into a certain political position or position as a CEO or regional vice president and all those kinds of things. There's a power behind it. Yes. Anubhav, these experiences are real. We cannot say they're an illusion. How foolish would that be? They are definitely real. They're within the Jagrat Avastha. And they are part of this Rag-Dvesh continuum. They're part of the experience of Rajogun, Sattvagun, Tamogun. Even big Pandits and Gnanis and Kathakars and doing mantras and this and that. And they're getting praised. They're getting a lot of money, a lot of donations. It goes into that. Bhagwan ki isme prapti nahi hai. Sorry. Doesn't matter how many mantras anybody knows, how many scriptures anybody knows. Doesn't matter how much sadhana anybody does. As long as there's ego, sattvagun, rajogun, tamogun, anubhava paramatma is a big zero. Anubhavi nahi hota. Thoda punya hoga. Maybe glimpse something here and there. Something will appear. That's all. Bhagwan nahi milege. Paisa milega. Kirti milegi. Yes, it's a part of the dynamics of the sansar. Functionally it's okay, but that has become so predominant. Vyavhar pradhan thai jai. Gunatitanand Swami ji kya kehte hai? He explains it beautifully. Vyavhar karo, gaun rite karo. Gaun. Gaun means secondary. We have to do it. You may be a regional vice president, maybe a CEO, maybe a great politician, maybe this. Koi baat nahi. Seva bhav rakho. Keep feet on the ground. Don't let it go to the head. You may be very wealthy. Keep feet on the ground. Nothing is ours actually. We think this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this is all Rag-Dvesh. Then it causes fear. Then it causes bashing others. And the question is, how can we grow together? Think about this. The moment, position, status, finances, money, accumulation of money, accumulation of lot of praise from others, when that becomes important, one is within the matrix of Maya. Okay, Sachin is not criticizing. Aapko karna hai wo? Karo. I'm not telling anybody anything. You take it up with Bhagwan Krishna. You take it up with him if you want to. That's all. That's the beginning and the end of that. Think about, for example, religious organizations all over the world. Kitne, thousands, hundreds of thousands. How many people are enlightened? Come out of the matrix of Sattvagun, Rajogun, Tamogun. Handful, if that. Who knows? I don't know how many. I have no idea, right? But the number is very low. Why is that? Because that same ego-driven mentality is taken a refined form in these religious organizations. Most of them, if not nearly all of them. And there's competition, there's internal stuff. Because the inner breakage out of Maya is a totally different matter. That's good whatever they're doing, as long as they're not killing each other, hurting each other. Usually they don't talk to each other even, but that's the way it goes. What can you do? Think about Rag-Dvesh. Kitna Rag-Dvesh? It's at multiple domains. One belief versus another. How can we ever reach Vasudeva Kutumbakam? Look at Sanatana Dharma. We have different sampradayas. Great. But they have to come together to say we are, not just as sampradayas, all humanity is one. Why can't we realize this? This planet is our home. Why is that so difficult to realize? These continuous bombings and wars and conflicts all the way around. This is the way it's been, and it probably will be like that also in the future. Because the inner development has not happened. So there's another important point. Should we be concerned about the whole world? We want to serve the world, wish well for the world, and leave it alone. Asangattava. Bhagavan kehte in the Gita, chapter 15. Asanga shastrena drudena chitva. I've said this many, many times, hundreds of times. We've talked about this before. बहुत significant point hai. We live in the world with love, with affection, with asangatvam. Asanga means what? Mera koi nahi hai. Nobody's mind. Not one being is connected to me. I'm bound to that being. Bandhan nahi. Not one object. We interact with the objects. Bandhan nahi. Bandhan means bondage. I have to have that dish at that particular restaurant at this way. Then I'm happy. This is called bondage. Family member passes away, pet passes away, somebody passes away. We talked about this before. Depression, anxiety, all these things happen. This is bondage. Ye bandhan hai. Does that mean you don't care? On the contrary. On the contrary, there is actual care, love, affection while people are around. But there's also realization there's no binding with anybody. When we do not bind with anybody, any person, any object, anything, any place, then we are ready to go beyond raga dvesha. Most human beings have never gone beyond that. Very few sages have gone beyond raga dvesha. कोई इससे बाहर निकल नहीं सकता. Most people don't understand it, don't do anything for that, don't realize that it is something to go beyond. That's what Sri Krishna is saying. If you want to come to me, that is Paramatma, you have to go beyond this thing. There's no option in that. Sorry. There's no option. Yeah, functionally we live in the samsara as it is. That's okay. But to internally rise above raga and dvesha, it is the only solution, it is the only doorway into the Atma. There is no other doorway. Now, remember, that doesn't mean we are rejecting the experiences of Maya. The experiences of Sattva Gun, Rajas and Tamas are also divine. Why? Because they are the lower power of Sri Krishna. They are not independent of Bhagavan. But they are within the matrix of Maya. And if we have a destination for Ananda, we want to reach Ananda, open up that divinity, yes, the experiences are going to remain. Is it true that we are going to like certain experiences, because enjoy certain experiences? Obviously. Even the enjoyment of an experience has to be done in a divine way. Is it possible? That's what we want to try this thing out this summer sometime. Take the example of a restaurant, just like we were just talking about. Order 7, 8, 10 dishes, 10, 15 people are sitting, whatever, enjoying, have good conversation, all that kind of stuff. The experience of eating the food, wo hai, anubhav hai. But then what happens? I like it. Okay, we like it. Enjoy it. All right. But to realize that this is simply a beginning and an end, it has a limited stimulative experience, like a wave that opens and comes down. It comes up and comes down. When we recognize that, see that, and can cherish that wave experience of the Panch Vishayas, while recognizing that the ocean, which is Parabrahma, is the substratum that is called living with the Panch Vishayas without in any which way getting trapped in them, bound in them, or even rejecting them. Yeah, keep a boundary. The enjoyment is definitely, look, we cannot reject enjoyment. If we reject enjoyment, then all we're doing is creating another polarity inside. Then you're creating a kind of contradiction inside. Isn't it true that if you're sitting in a very nice luxury car or first class airline ticket, business class, first class, Qatar Airlines or British Airways or Indian Airlines or whatever it is, Air India, if you have a first class ticket, isn't the whole experience different? You have a special check-in time and you get loaded on, you can go inside first, you have special VIP treatment. Isn't it so? Is that not an experience? How can we say that is not an experience? The fact is that experience is there. The fact is that experience is different. It is a uttam koti. In Gujarati we say uttam koti na vishaya bhog. Uttam madhyam kanisht. If you're writing this analysis, we have to really break it down. Otherwise you'll never understand Rag Dvesh. You have to understand what is really going on. Not theories, not a lot of shlokas and verses and escapes and all that. No, not that. Actually what is going on. How many of us have gone to an airport and we see the first class check-in and said, my, these people are rich, these people are this, I wish I was. Let's be honest, let's not be dishonest. We don't have to express anything here. Express it at the feet of Radha and Krishna. They know everything. Express it to them. Let's be honest about this. That's what people want. That have so much wealth, you can just buy first class tickets, only live first class. Not everybody's like that. But most people, when they see those check-ins, logins, or whatever, first class ka jo cabins and all that, they have special treatment, more comfortable seats, the waitresses and waiters, whatever they are, the air hostesses, meeting every single need, asking for this, special towels and special this and special that. Special drinks, specialty drinks, and because somebody's paid $7,000 or $8,000 for a first class ticket, so they get first class treatment. Is that not anubhav? Is there not? Think about it. There's uttam, madhyam, kanisht. Somebody sitting at the back of the airplane by the restroom, the last seat at the back, and people are coming in and out, going into the restroom, and the person is sitting right next to that. Compare that experience to the first class experience. This is called sansar. And everybody else in between. Abhi ye reality hai ke nahi? This is the reality of life. This is true with everything in life. With universities, it's true with colleges, it's true with companies, it's true with all kinds of stratification. It has to do with this uttam, madhyam, uttam meaning the topmost, the highest quality of experience. Madhyam is middle quality, kanisht is lower quality. This is the world in which we live. It happens with homes, right? Like we have this Greenville here, Hocas and all those areas we have in Delaware. $1 million homes. Compared that to the people living in the projects. Homeless people, homeless community. And everybody else in between. It's a constant struggle to be wealthy. And then the few percentage that are on top, they'll not allow anybody to come up there, the top 1% as it is known. Those who keep progressing further, they keep massive wealth, they transmit to next generation. They don't want anybody to come into their domain. Special homes, special gates, special bungalows, special this, special that. Everybody is trapped in this nonsense. Ye jo hai na, ye total trap hai. And you can never get out of the material world as long as the desire, this is going on. इसमें से वैराग्य होना चाहिए, अभ्यास and वैराग्य भगवान कृष्ण. Otherwise भगवान के धाम में नहीं जा सकते. Sorry. Want these things? Durga Devi will say, you continue. Keep chalo isme. Keep rolling around in this thing. This is what you want. You stay there. It has to do with what we want. Atma and Paramatma, Bhagwan ka jo dham hai, isme shraddha honi chahiye. It's not some instantaneous experience that you can see the abode of God. ऐसी स्थिति है वचनामृत सारंगपुर 10 गरुड़ा प्रथम 1 भगवद गीता कितने शब्द शास्त्र बोलते हैं. Once you reach beyond raga dvesha, everything, the divine abodes are available to enter. You're sitting in the same place. आप ध्यान में बैठे हो और भगवान का जो धाम है आप देख सकते हैं. अभी भगवान का जो धाम है, that is maha ananda. This sansar is a big trash can compared to that. Kachra no dabbo. This entire top to bottom Brahmand, 14 lokas. Not just this world, all the Swarg lokas and everything combined together. Big trash can. Compared to Bhagwan ka jo Bhagavat Anubhav. And that is where these 5 come into the picture. Stotra, Mantra, Shastra, Mandir, Guru, Parampara. That is a doorway out of the Brahmand, out of the 14 lokas, out from the Agnya Chakra, Sahasrara Chakra, straight into the Vaikuntha planets and out of into the spirit, out of the material plane into the spiritual domain. Vaikuntha Goloka, Shvedvipas, Akshardham, ये सब दिव्य दिव्य भगवान के धाम है. असंख्य धाम है वो, असंख्य भूमिका, वचनामृत में लिखा है, असंख्य अभी भूमिका. It's a very simple question. Want to keep chasing these higher level material, higher quality material level experiences, private jets, being able to travel in luxury all the way around, luxurious life, diamond ring on every finger, massive amounts of wealth. If that's what we want, you get that. It's keep trying. This lifetime, 10 lifetimes, 100 lifetimes. कोई बात नहीं. मिलेगा. Or what's next? Just simply ask the question, what's next? I mean, what is after that? Let's say you have all that thing, right? What's next? Then a person wants political position. We see, I don't want to give any names. You can see it in the world today. They want political position chahiye. Because they want to be in power. The demand for power after money comes. Lots of money comes. The person wants power. The money doesn't satisfy anymore. Okay, you have big homes, you have this, you have that, you have this, you have that. 100 people, 200 people, 500 people, whatever, they're running after you. And then they want something from you all the time. Whatever. The demand for power. Not seva, for power. Kirti, to be in the newspapers, to be in the magazines, to be very famous, to be known to the millions of people. Total agnan. It is agnan, this thing. This is why Bhagwan कहते हैं असंग शस्त्रेण दृढ़ेन चित्वा. If you want to realize the Atman and Param Atma, Paramatma, Bhagwan, want to realize, if that is truly the destination, भगवान कहते आ जाओ, मेरे पास आ जाओ. माम एव ये प्रपद्यन्ते माया मेताम तरन्तिते. Tarantite means, in Gujarati we say taru. Taru means to float. It's a very interesting word. You float above Maya. It's floating above Maya. We live in the world, but you'll be out of the dynamics of the Maya. Mukta jivan mukta sthiti, ye baat hai. इसीलिए everyday satsang we have. This is why satsang every day. और भगवत कृपा, भगवान की दया कृपा, परम कृपा से हम सत्संग ऐसे, we can do this satsang, we can talk about these things. Sachin has opportunity and kripa and just seva to do this, to open these discussions. Otherwise, मंदिरों में जाते हैं, some ritual करते हैं, दिवाली आई, जन्माष्टमी आई, शिवरात्रि आई, and सब आया, और हम जो है, we are as we are. No change at all. Drowned inside this matrix of Maya. Not like that. That is not the solution. It's not the solution. There are 50 points. I put them in the WhatsApp. I mean, obviously it's already 9:09. I wish I had 10-15 hours to spend with you all, and maybe make some recording. It's not amazing. These examples are very good. You can look at them in the WhatsApp. The magnet and the repellent force, the pendulum of desire. We'll go through some of them in the next couple of days. So we are so clear as to raga and dvesha. Or isse bahar nikalna. That doesn't mean we're rejecting if you have to sit in first class, it could happen, right? Okay, but if you have to sit all the way in the back of the plane, it's clean, it's okay. No, it still has your seat is there. Your destination is still the same. Sthirta rakhni. Sukhe dukhe samay kritva labha labho jaya jayo. Sukh or dukh mein samta, samatva. It happens. We get stuck in traffic. It happened the other day. We were trying to get out of the parking lot. And it's so easy to get so disturbed very quickly. This is happening. Our mind is spinning. Just be steady. Accept what is going on there. Bhagwan ka naam lena. Don't get perturbed inside. That steadiness will open automatically the right path, the right doorway, the practical steps to be taken in the world will automatically be taken. Why we have to get so upset about the things we cannot control? We cannot control anything. Who are we to control anything? We can only take the right actions for ourselves in alignment with the grace of God, in alignment with Bhagwan ka, jo Bhagwan ka swarup, Guru ka swarup, Bhagwan ke sant, Bhagwan ke jo shastra, iske sath align karna. I'm telling myself, I'm not telling anybody else that this rag dvesh thing is so fundamental. This rag dvesh ka concept, and telling myself this is the focus. If Sachin keeps 100% focus ke rag dvesh se nikalna hai, Bhagwan ki upasana karo, mandiron mein jao, shastro, everything is fine. Isse bahar nikalna. Kisi ke saath aham mamatva rag dvesh mera tera bilkul nahi rehta. How difficult. People are, they get the Vaishnava tilak, Shaiva tilak, just in Sanatan Dharma. Some of the Vaishnavas in some groups, they don't take the name of Shiv. Ye kya baat hai? Ab usko jo karna hai karo. Nothing, we don't want to take their fault also, not taking anybody's fault. In Gujarat, some sampradayas are like that. I won't give the names. Wo Shiv ka naam hi nahi lete. There's a word, like in Gujarati, Shivdu, some name like that to stitch together. They'll use some other word for that. They don't want to even say the name Shiv, as if it is some. Ye kya hai sab? Think about this. This is called kattarvad, fanaticism. And what happens out of this? Conflict. Remember I told you the example somewhere in South India many years back, some 25 years ago, maybe more than that. An elephant was to be used for some ceremony, and the Vaishnavas and Shaivas are living in the same village, and they were going to use that elephant. So the Shaivas were putting on the Tripunda, the three lines, with the vibhuti. They put that tilak on the Ganesha's forehead. But the Vaishnava said, no, this is part of our ceremony, this and that. You cannot put that kind of tilak. Our urdhva pundra tilak, the upward tilak has, and they were pulling the elephant back and forth, and this went on for hours. They eventually killed the elephant. This is an actual documented incident. This is Adhyatma. What is happening inside this world? It's killing the elephant. That's all that is happening. With these people pulling each other back and forth. This is not Adhyatma. That is not the realization of the Atma. It is a form of Ahankar. Masquerading as spirituality, religion. That is not religion, spirituality, Adhyatma. Wo kuch bhi nahi hai isme. This is all dangerous ego. Can you imagine? Pandits who are well versed in scriptures killed an elephant. How is that possible? Because they could not agree on the shape of the tilak. On the contrary, it should be your Shiva, your Vaishnavas, no problem. You put your Shiva tilak and we're at your feet. Hum aapke it's the end of solution. Kya badi baat hai? Seva bhav. See, Bhagwan Swaminarayan, Shiji Maharaj, you know, one of the things that was in his life, entire life was seva. Das na das, thaine raho satasangma, bhakti bhali manish rachish tena rangma. It's a very famous statement from Bhakta Chintamani. Sampradaya, whatever is going on in Swaminarayan Sampradaya, Vaishnava Sampradaya, whatever people are doing, that is on them. God will take that. Such is not my responsibility to try to improve anybody. Don't want to find anybody's fault also. But think about this. Seva bhav. Seva rehna. Acha, take good qualities of others. Go beyond rag dvesh. Even this religious organ, this is my organization. As soon as that feeling comes, the doorway into the mukti is closed. Right there, it just closes, right? It closes right away. It doesn't matter how many temples are built or how much scriptures anybody knows. It's sab zero ban jata hai. Because you're the sense that this is me and this is somebody else. There is nobody else other than you. There's nobody else divisive with you. This is mera group, mera sampradaya, mere guru, mere, me. Not to talk to others, not to learn anything from others, to find always fault with somebody else, to show superiority. This is in the religious domain. This is spirituality. You think anybody thinks that they can realize God? You think God has time for all this nonsense? In Gujarati we say, Bhagwan to sapna ma pan nahi dekha hai. But this is going on. Sorry. It's not going to happen. That's why, who has realized God? Because of these reasons. इसको फेंक देना राग द्वेष को. यो माम पश्यति सर्वत्र सर्वम च मयि पश्यति तस्याहम न प्रणश्यामि सच मे न प्रणश्यति. This is what the Gita is teaching. See me everywhere. Does it say in the Gita, see me in your particular sampradaya, see me in your particular group, see me in your particular tradition, see me in your particular family lineage, in your particular caste, in your particular social status? Is that what the Gita is showing us? See the difference. Yomam pashyati. To see, actually, see me in all. All in me. And you are with me. That is outside of Maya. Otherwise, everything is within Maya. This is the reality. Not because of Sachin. Sachin has nothing to do with this. This is the actual reality. Aap is par manan kijiye. Look at the scriptures. Look at the anubhav. Scriptures to hai. Great saints are, they may be in different organs. They're not connected to any aham mamatva. That is, organizations are needed as a certain sadhana, as a means to an end. Like a ladder is a means to get to the rooftop. The ladder is not the goal. The rooftop is the goal. Rag and dvesh, to go beyond rag and dvesh. We have sampradayas, teachers, gurus, mandirs, everything. But reach that goal beyond rag and dvesh into ananda. That is called Paramananda, Brahmananda, Divya Ananda. And that is the reality of this sansar. That is the reality of the spiritual path. That is called Divya Marg, Marg Bandhu Stotra. Bhagwan ke jo, Bhagwan is with us when we have set this destination. Or bhajan kirtan. Love all great sampradayas are beautiful. Rag dvesh chhod do. That is, isme sabka kalyan hai. Whether it's Christian, Jewish, Islam, Hindu traditions, koi bhi hai. Love, tolerance, learn from all. Don't hurt anybody. Ahimsa paramo dharma. Follow your paths, it's okay. Jo bhi hai. Prem has no division. None. And that is the glory of Shri Radhika Ji. Radha Rani ki Jai. With that, let's stop here for now. Om Vakradunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Gurame Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvadam Maim Rim Klim Chamundaya Viche. Namo Namah Shri Radha Krishna Namo Namaha. Okay.